Welcome back to Brain Rot. Yeah, God, it's the American Brit. But I think we all did all the talking here. And now we go to a new location. It's Sean's suit. We all waited for that, right? I actually do not remember how I spoke Sholmes. Damn it. I think I spoke him like, yeah, I think I remember kind of. Oh god, it's even animated at 10 FPS. High budget quality animation.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again.
Old bit.
The residence of Mr. Herlock's showers.
Why is the animation more fluid when I look at OBS? I look at OBS and it is more fluid than in the actual game I'm looking at. Also, I just wanna say, like, the entire budget went into backgrounds, not for the animation or the characters. No. Did you see this high definition door in contrast to the rest? Yeah, we are Capcom, it's fine, let's animate this. What can we do? Yeah, that's a good concept, we should animate this. And also pay this voice actor, I don't know, $20 to speak these lines. Yeah, great, yeah. What? You want to animate this at 30 frames per second or 24? Nah, let's make 10. Nobody will care. That was awful. Like, that wasn't even 24 frames per second. Like, that was like 10. Like, this fire has more frames per second than the animation just now. What is this? I'm a bit perplexed, but mostly because of this shoe. Like, everything else makes sense, like a lot of books, pictures. I mean, even this knife on this letter makes sense. But why this shoe? Why is this clown shoe there? Why? And why is Napoleon his favorite figure? And why are playing cards on a map? And why is this fire 24 frames per second? I didn't read it, I'm sorry. Clicked outside of the game. Is it as described in the stories, Miss Susato? God, she is going to be over fangirling everything. What exactly is this? Is this like an ancient way of a microscope? An ancient product of Why is there an N and an R? Whatever. Why is a pipe in a holder for vials? Why? Oh, Susato-san. Many famous cases have been solved in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. Never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. She's not excited. Did you see how fangirlish she was about a hat before? She's extremely calm for this, where she actually really... Well, never mind. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down unlit London street. So you mean every London street? Yes. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm not gay. Oh, I suppose I can. I mean, yes, of course I can. Hold me, Senpai Princess Sholmes. Uwu. So, if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. As she falls on her knees and starts to lick the floor and chair. Please don't mind me. As she starts vibrating. She's obsessed. Don't put your into crazy. Well. If this isn't the most cutest chat on Twitch TV. It looks like our detective friend isn't at home at present. Which is funny because that means we just broke into his home. Uninvited. Come. Excuse me, princess. Is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? That's the crazy girl. I don't remember what a voice I gave her. He really didn't know. Wait, wasn't that the girl where you, Coffee, said, like, what about deep voices? Like, weren't you the one complaining about that? If I remember correctly? Answer. Moderator, answer. Moderator, you need to answer this. Streamer to moderator Coffee Siphon, please answer. Streamer to moderator Coffee Siphon, please answer. I don't remember. How dare you? Yeah, we'll fight you. You can have your fists and I can have shoes. It's fair. Must have slipped my mind. Hello, is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello. Because this is more easy on my voice. Wait. Aren't you? Oh, how rude of me. I'll go and make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. Miss Susato, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? Yes, it's extra common. To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. The King of Bavaria? King Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund... I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. King Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund von Ormstein. Of course. Yeah, that's the quality you need. People who can read German. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a moment and look over there. The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you! Knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. I hope she has a lot of talking in this chapter and the next one. Ah, there you are. And taking with you as well? And taking that with you as well? I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilded's trial in the defendant's antechamber and made me forget to take his money. Now that he's dead, I will never see that money ever again. I'm an idiot. I've never met a lawyer from Far East before. Poor you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. You could be so much more queer here. Oh, yes, it was challenging to stay straight. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. Oh, thank you. Is the tea supposed to look that color? Looks like oil. Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray, it's a winner. I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots of luck and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you? Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, Shirley? Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met the girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think? And perhaps more to the point, why is she speaking Japanese? Oh, I'm sorry. And why is she speaking Nipponese? Why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suit? Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Werewolf Iris Wilson. I live here together with Hurley. Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of the sudden? Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Ryunosuke. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan. That's a funny name, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't understand a word you said because I don't speak Nipponese. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Judy. Oh, we decided to call it Judy. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's Judy assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Rudolph. Got it. I like her. Susie? And Rudolph? Aw, she didn't name him Reno. And we could have some Final Fantasy VII shit going on. It's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. Oh God, we can converse with her. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey. Yes, that's right. You were so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry. We couldn't have been more welcoming. So, at the time we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Uwu! Oh yes, put it into my face. Like this? Oh, thinking back now, you left me Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Jeannie? Yes, she's a professional pickpocket. So you found out? It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Are you even referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. That makes sense. That's why MI6 exists today. And we have James Bond. And Mission Impossible. That has nothing to do with the UK. This girl is dangerous. Anyway, I brought Janie back here after that. So she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician? Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yes, Herlock Sholmes. We live together here. I had no idea that the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Well, then what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate, or a werewolf. You're werewolves? I mean roommates? I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10, at last this year, in dog years. Well, what of your mother and father? Oh no, they're not around. I ate them. Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Mega! Of course. Go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rand's magazine? Yes, I read every issue. Or issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan, on the ship. Okay. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories? That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see. And he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard of them, don't you think? Goodness! Last night he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on the steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was in the middle of typing up a manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author? Yes, I let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call my latest adventure The Speckled Band. The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar. Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. Oh, and that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually. Yes, and of course, I know that Snake might not be the credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rand's magazine all written by me? Yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine? Dr. John H. Wilson. Which is a pen name. The Sato-san's getting more and more worked up. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true too. I am a doctor of medicine. No, at 10 years old? At 10 years old. Dog years, by the way. Well, that's quite incredible. But, it's... Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. I suppose it does, yeah. Poor Susato-san, she looks like her whole world has just fallen apart. About before. Yes? What's on your mind, Runo? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us how you did it. Tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Explain yourself. Of course, I would be delighted. Although there's really no mystery. It all was written down here in this paper, this letter that I got from Scotland Yard. Now, let's begin. Iris Wilson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Oh no. First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Runo. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that? I observed the passport and the travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh. So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that is me. You accepted the case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs. The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I? Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you, earlier today? They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, Susie. I didn't realize. And the red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume. Mr. Natsume! Now Rudolph has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. Why is she smarter than Sherlock Holmes? There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed a certain something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. Really very good news. Nobody ever says that. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please. Please, small fly, don't fly into my face. Why are small flies always flying in someone's face? It's basically like being a small fly and being like, where's the most dangerous place in my entirety of this 5 billion trillion quadrillion flyzillion square meters of air? Oh yes, this face. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying? Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. But the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. Thank you, Bob. I shall do that. So Bob told me to switch scenes. Just like that. Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems. Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had a short, shifty-looking stooped man running away from the scene, who had seen. A short, shifty-looking stooped man. Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. Soseki-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all. Hurley used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stooped man shivering in fear. Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He's a great detective. And so smart. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Early says that London is rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Soseki-san. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. Except she didn't. This has been very informative, except it wasn't. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we would like to ask him questions about this case as well. No, well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene. Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Nuts. Oh, May? Mr. Nuts. Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If he leaves now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scenes of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Ah, goody. In that case... Me. Me. I give Grexy this from me, would you? Grexy. Grexy. If you do that, I'm sure he will tell you what you want to know. What is this? A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. Iris' postcard has been entered the court record. It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." Gosh, this will make this inspector help us, will it? By blackmailing him? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Good luck then. I'm going to return to my writing manuscript, The Speckled Band. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Excuse me? Meerschaum Street? Why do they use a German term here? Meerschaum means foam, sea foam. Seafoam Street? Calabash. Oh, I can look at it. Victoria de Gratia. This is a 5-shilling piece, isn't it? I believe it's called a crown. Yes, and you can train a Scotland Yard detective to do whatever you want with just a thing. Yes. Yes. You can. Just bribe your local police into telling you anything you want. Iris must be the most powerful 10-year-old in the world. Or maybe she just gave us 5 shillings. How much is 5 shillings, by the way? What's it really worth? Well, 5 shillings, 2 yen. Those are not shillings. Okay. Shilling is cents. So 0.05 British. A British pounds to Japanese yens. Wow. So it's basically 10 yen. Wow. 10 yen. 10 yen. That's less than a cent. Well, it's probably enough to buy all the chips the inspector could possibly eat in a whole month. Chips or crisps? That is the true question. That's greasy, says the Japanese man, who is basically coming from an Asian country, and most Asian countries are like, is this vegetable healthy? If yes, let's deep fry it. Is this vitamin C? Let's deep fry it. irises. I want to say that I disagree with this. Why? Why would I disagree with this? Because you make this, I guess it's called apostrophe S, and if this comes after the letter S and the end of a name word, then you just write this and no S. I learned this that way in my school, and it makes perfect sense. Why is this Japanese company that is called Capcom going like, no, fuck that? We're not Americans here. So you think Asian countries are very good at deep frying everything they find. It's actually more scary than Americans. You're on par with Americans at least. What is this? A delicious, complete ramen in a bowl? Let's pour it into a frying pan and deep fry it and then put it back into the bowl. It's not as extreme as that, of course, because that would be foolish. That would just cause an explosion. Kids don't behave? Deep fry their favorite toy. Yes. And then eat it, because plastics are good for you. Iris's little handwriting is adorable, isn't it? I wonder how many people still can write like this these days. I can. Microplastic moment. Don't worry, microplastic is already everywhere. You don't even need to eat it.
Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Here, take this bribe of 10 yen.
Yes, the handwriting might be adorable, but the message is ominous. There's no room for sentiment here.
I'm sure it's simply the way of your interpreting it. Interpretation, Mr. Naruhodo. Anyway, I do hope that the inspector will tell us what we need to know when he reads it.
You don't think it will just make him much piping hot chip? The what? You don't think it will just make him munch piping hot chips until the steam comes out of his ears, do you?
Well, that wouldn't be an entirely terrible outcome.
Okay. Sure. And I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back again soon.
We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris.
Can we go on and replace everybody just with Iris? Because Iris talking is so comfortable for me. I could just keep talking like that and then make variations of it. So I could also talk like this and like this.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime.
We just came from there. So somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. 5 kilogram, 5 shilling coin. Rawr. Why is this thing also so big? You know, it's like 5 cents. Why is a 5-cent coin so huge? Let's make a bill out of 5 cents.
Oh, hello, Mr. Officer. I'm back. Would you like to share your hat today now with me? We were like gone since an hour, but we are back.
It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at the silver tip Iris gave us from him. Just a tip. Oh god, it's him again. No! Not him. I have nothing to talk about with him. Fine, let's present you with this. Take that. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm a very busy man. What's busy to talk about? If you ain't not being a garbage, it's for sure.
We have these for you.
Why is it she? Why is it she? Why is she saying these? I will be honest, I understand because she's separating the coin and the card, so it's 2. That's why she says these. But honestly, nobody would say that. You would say, we have this for you because it builds 1 unit. Thank you, Capcom.
A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? For me? Her leadership. Oh, God. I kinda thought it would go in this direction. I just wanna take this moment to remember you that the age of consent in Japan is 14? Maybe 12? I mean, the implication here is that he loves her stories, I guess, but it gives you all the wrong ideas, right? Her ladyship. Give that here, orange. Come on, here, it's for me. Yeah, don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? What was that coin exactly? It's a silver coin, obviously, but it is a little more than that. It's well, it's an appearance fee, that's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean?
What? That's right, for the advantage of her shows. Her ladyship always offered me a little $4 reward for featuring me every time.
Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly.
Oh yes, the fish and chips, yes. Curse using my name with urgency sure does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant truths, but shit. I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. It would be quite a popular dish if it had any taste at all. Well, you could make fish and chips. You take the chips and the fish would be, and I already forgot the name, tilapia? Tilapia is, I think, because tilapia has no taste, right? Perfect. You have the British version in your country right now. Perfect. Never mind that. So, what do you want to know then? Sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust you on permanency. Unfortunately, I can't find any fish fillet big enough for the ones I have. Tilapia are quite small though. Yes, they are. Well, then it's time. Time to go outside and catch yourself a tuna fish with your bare hands. I guess. And if that's not there, guess you could hunt for a sunfish? They are big. Well, always is no problem. Go and fly away. What do you want to know? And supermarkets don't sell tilapia fillet. That's weird. It's such a common fish in your country.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Hey, the little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fella. He lives right in the old Hawaii, just over there, look. At that wonderful building. On the first floor of that here's the corner where that wreck of bicycle property.
That is nearby indeed.
I remember rightly, the landlord at Mr. John Goldby. Goldby. Yes, that's his name. John Goldby. Read. If you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? Oh, man, you're telling Greeks in Santa's very best washers. Yes, washers, not wishes, washers. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, and long live her lordship. Yes, lordship.
Well, at least he told us we wanted to know before he left.
Yes, so then shall we go and see what we can find at Mr. Natsume's lodgings? Oh my god, so many collector figurines, the posters, and all the entire chronological correct series of anime on DVD and VHS. Oh my god, is this an anime game for the Nintendo 69? Cool.
Definitely.
Move to building, please. Wow, that is so non-weebish. I'm disgusted. What is this? Ugh. Why? This is far too British. British? What a bloody wanker. God. Oh, no. No, they introduced a new character that is only here for this specific scene. No. May I help you? Ah yes, would this be the residence of Mr. John Gerd? Indeed, it would, sir. And who, may I say, is calling? Me name is Ryu Nerihide. I am. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here.
Oh god, she's into him. Oh god, she's into him. You just saw it. You just saw that she was into him.
We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
Oh god, she's gonna be in the court. Oh no, she's gonna be in the court. In reality, she is the killer. She is gonna be the killer. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. President. Did you see that, Miss Susato? That was a real life English maid. Smile. She was wearing what you should be wearing, Coffee.
I know, as I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in flesh. Ah, this day keeps getting better and better.
It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only to meet a butler and the experience will be complete.
Oh, I know a butler. He lives in Zenless Zone 0. He's a very nice butler. He's a wolf, and yeah, I still don't have that boy in my team in the game, and it makes me kind of sad for various reasons. Well, I'm not sure if I would go that far, but understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting, Mr. Curtin. We'll see you now, this way. Oh god, new character. His face is sculpted like a fish, like a moon. Why? God. And I need to give him a voice. That's the worst. I need to give him a voice. Okay, that means that is not the living space of Mr. Natsume Weep Nado. Okay. I'm calmed down now. That makes more perfect sense. Wow, you cannot even converse. It's like, move. Oh no, there's so much to actually.
Look at this enormous screen. It must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yes, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. Could be behind it, I wonder. Is it because of all the blood below it? Another victim?
I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek.
Sure, I'm pretty sure none of these two people will mind that you just look around their living space. Maybe let's not miss Susato. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea. I'm pretty sure that the British Army wouldn't allow a mohawk to be worn by any soldier. That portrait of Mr. Gerda is glaring at me, I swear.
Have you noticed all the different frames contain photographic prints of Mr.
Gerda
as well?
Yes, and there seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well. You can't suddenly talk, and why are you stirring your tea with your pipe? That's disgusting. Imagine all the tobacco that is like getting into the tea. What is wrong with this person? Ah, God, what voice do I give him? Ah, yes, seemed to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket. Seemed to come back? What do you mean? The chap who runs the place is a bally wizard. Went to sell him something and came out of that thing. His name was Harry Potter. In point of fact, now I think about it, I rather often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need. Just like any grocery store, right?
The lion ornament certainly does seem a surplus of requirements. 2 requirements.
Sato-san doesn't pull her punches, or her throws for that matter. Speak English.
That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very grand banner. It's also a video game series.
Yes, it's displayed with some pride, I would say, although it bothers me that it's not straight. It doesn't bother me if it's not straight. What? That old thing? Sorry? I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general would turn in his grave if I disposed of it. The wall, the best place for it, keeps the bally thing out of me. Why is it turning now American? So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose.
There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself. Look, it says, "Who reads this is dumb." Let me see. It says, "For distinguished participation."
Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for. Well, one does like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. I think a lot of people like to blow one's own trumpet. Can't measure an officer by the number of the medals of the name, of course. Common knowledge in the military circles. Please stop. Are those mortar shells? They are enormous. They are called bear dragons.
Ah, I hadn't noticed. What are they doing there?
Those odd things. Couple of little rounds I accidentally fired into the barracks during training, you know. Haha, this is really funny when it gets up the bums. Became a bit of colorful regiment folklore, that incident. Yes, when I took 3 of them into my bum. You mean you deliberately hunted out the spent shells? Well, I wouldn't say deliberately exactly. They're only a scrap iron after all. usually thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come in useful, you know. Useful for what exactly? Yes, well. Joan here did manage to knock one of the belly things on my foot the other day while she was dusting.
Oh no!
Hadn't shed a tear since 1869. Nice. Before then, you know. Maybe reconsider throwing them away? That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it?
It's clearly been well looked after, though.
That old thing? Bah, not much better than Rex, really? Oh? Worded ceremonial garb on my retirement bash, you know? But I'm not one for dwelling on the past, me. Would gladly have thrown it out, but you know it is. You know how it is. Do I? Anyway, doesn't hurt to have the odd piece of memorabilia lying around, does it?
Oh, I see.
Perhaps we should take our eyes out, leave the past in the past. That's a full-sized cannon. What's it doing in here? By the way, these things are freaking heavy.
Oh my, it's real. I thought it might be a bad dragon replica. Replica.
That old thing? Bah, that's a little more than a toy. Why is he laughing? Sorry? The army was sending it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Never known when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. Really? It isn't overkill? Be prepared, I always say. You never know what this twisted world is going to throw at you next, boy.
You think there's more? There may be trouble brewing, mister.
Carry up. No, not at all. Let's just move forward 20 to 30 years into the future. I'm sure there's nothing wrong there with the world. Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. Dries them over the barrel, you see? Why is he American? They dry very well on the cannon here, Joan tells me, which rather proves my point, I feel. Why is he American? It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like hanging its head in shame. Penis. I noticed you have a pile of books here, Mr. Gerda. Do you enjoy reading? I ever experienced a London winter, boy. The nights are long. Just like my D. No better way to pass the time in front of the fire with a jolly good book. I'm really bad at British accents, by the way.
Oh, there's a copy of Rand's magazine here. I see. Can I touch it? No doubt, Mr.
Gerda
enjoys the adventures of Sherlock Holmes too. The
great detective has a great many followers, it would seem. Oh good, he at least didn't say anything to that. I'm glad about that, to be honest. a wonderful window.
This window looks out to over Briar Road, where the young woman was attacked. Surely he observed one of them and is actually a witness, but nobody ever told us.
Oh yes, I can make out the policeman on the far side of the road investigating the crime scene. The crime scene. Yes, the crime scene.
The glass is rather murky, isn't it? You can't see very clearly.
This is gonna be important later on. Does this thing open at all, I wonder?
I shouldn't underestimate the bitterness of London winter, sir.
Sorry?
As soon as you open the window, the tea will freeze in the pot. No Londoner would go opening windows at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you.
You know what's also not happening in London in winter when there is actually snow? Trains. It seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything of the incident then. I wanna press M. That is wonderful what you have here. How delightful.
Oh, look! What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand.
Lined up looks more like someone has half demolished them to me.
Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It's quite the English way.
English.
It is Mr. Garret's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea.
That sounds delightful.
Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand.
Oh, well, naturally, it would never do to waste the leftovers. So whatever Mr. Garret doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up and eat it and become fat, just like I am, because I love cakes.
How magnanimous? It's like Magnus. Magnus is a very old word where we do not know where its origin is, because it's that old and often used in various cultures. Welcome, you have learned something today. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it?
Oh my, a genuine London dresser, isn't it delightful?
But I see no clothes.
Although the shelves seem to be broken and the crockery is, oh dear, it's in pieces and looks like shit.
Really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that Chinaware justice because it's from Taiwan. Paching.
I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at it.
Yes, I'm sitting here face palming myself for this dumb comment from Susie. From Susie. She's called Susie now. Because it's very normal to fire a can inside a house at crockery, which then breaks only the crockery, not making a hole in the wall or anything, because the cannonball is going to be gently falling down. in front of the crockery on the floor, not making a hole in the floor, because that's how cannons work. Sometimes it's just about stories, which we also call canons. It's just written differently. And sometimes it's a company making printers and other stuff, also written differently. Yes, probably something like that. Oh, fuck, she's so stupid. But let's not delve too deeply here. What exactly is behind there? Clearly something spilled. That's for sure. Think we have? Oh god, we can click on the people. Oh no. Good day to you, John Garrett, at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer. And it's not like we talked to each other before this.
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maywand, don't you know? Yes, I'm facepalming again. In the middle of my pains, but had to withdraw from the service. Handed over the reins to up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and down the stairs now. I can't tell you. Don't get out much what as you can. That's not even a sentence what I'm saying. Don't get out much as you can imagine. We haven't invented the wheelchair yet. Or the... what it called? Crookeds... something... you know... sticks and stones. Yes, it's quite the climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo.
Do you think so?
Well, Mr.
Garrett,
No doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Whatever a folderol is. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. And got a bot inside my chat that instantly got banned. Because you are a bloody little shitter nobody wants. Why don't you fetch it down, John? Let's get the good people see it properly. I looked at it as she started pouring the tea, and I was like, what will I see? Will I see a woman pouring tea forever into this cup? Because budget constraints? But no, they thought of it. I applaud thee, I applaud thee, Capcom developers, at least for once. Dash it, old woman, be careful.
Oh, dearie me, I do beg your pardon, sir.
You Johnny nearly took the skin off my hands.
I shall be more careful, sir.
Apparently he's married, or he was married, because he's wearing a golden ring on his ring finger. As we all know, that's the only and one finger you can put your wedding ring. Nowhere else. So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right?
Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
No, can we just go into the weep's room, please? Think of my voice, Susie. Only to please, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the peace here in the Blighty. Blighty. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan, the Nipponese, recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is much in the public eye, as it were. Or is it? Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, would you believe? Why is he American?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock. He's the Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea. The detective, all that detective business.
Oh, but you have a copy of Rand's magazine here, so can I still touch it?
No. He just doesn't want to admit that in the darkest hours of the night, he actually is wearing the maid's dress, reading the Sherlock Holmes stories as he...
Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak.
So he is in the Sasuke's room. It's a belly nuisance is what it is. The whole neighborhood twitching in curtains now. It's curtains now. Twitching? Don't twitch, please twitch. Thank you. I don't like this fuss. It's a jolly unsettling. God,
About Mr. Natsume. Then, Mr.
Gerda.
Please do tell us.
What? I didn't even click that. But okay. Since I'm here. Always keep in mind, it's called The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Nani? Oh yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. My damn Kokoro, it hurts. Yes. Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then? No, because 1 week is like a millennia. I have 2 lodges most of the time. One on the ground floor and one just below us. Okay. The first... Dash it, Joan. Don't be careful.
Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir.
I have the feeling that she is controlling what he's saying. My damn Kokoro, it hurts. So, doesn't it? Mushy mushy.
If you want to know my opinion,
nobody wants.
I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes upon him.
Yes, of course. Why is she smacking her own cheek?
Oh, why?
He seemed to have the most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, John, that man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything.
Won't be calling this maid. We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about that man at all?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Indeed there was. He had a nice ass.
She's dying to tell us. Had you noticed anything else about your lodger, Mr. Nazi? Okay. Don't call it Nazi. Not that. That's a bad decision. Nazi me.
Oh, my word, yes, that man was shadier than an orchard.
Since when are orchards shady? Unless it's a joke about shadows.
Could you elaborate?
Well, take the man's room, absolutely stuffed full of books it is, more than anyone could ever read.
Mangas?
And he never so much has passed the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call.
Yeah, welcome to modern civilization where everybody's lonely and has no friends anymore.
He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too.
Who needs friends anyways?
Meow.
No friends allowed. Oh, I see.
The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night.
Why the fuck is he stirring his tea with that thing? Capcom. I criticized the first moment I saw it. Unsanitized ass. Yes, maybe he just likes tabak in his tea. Who knows?
But I've never known the Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning.
Could you clarify something, I wonder?
What, pray?
How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine?
Oh!
I understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house. Is that correct? Hello, Bob. Thank you, Bob. How wonderful, Bob.
That's right. Yes, they're both below us on the first and the street level. On the first floor and the street level. Street level? We call that entrance. They both lying, and it is extremely clear that they both know far too much about their other two people living here.
Then how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times they come back in the evening, for example, even the times when they go to bed.
Security cameras. We are from the future. Good grief, Joan. Be more careful, woman.
Oh my goodness, sir. I'm terribly sorry, sir. I'm really good at pretending doing this over and over again.
Something doesn't add up here. I will be very happy when this voice is coming back, so I can speak some Dracula voice again. It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window around that time? Huh? The window?
Yes, we noticed the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time for the Gerda household. So I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan?
No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that. And from dusk till dawn, the vampires come out. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Damn vampires. Always foggy making London hunting people. What did I say?
Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
Such as?
Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated.
Huh, well. Yes, was there something then? I'm not even going to read that, but I read it. I read it. .com. For the love of Joan, watch what you're doing.
Oh, dearie me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. You were about to spill the secret we can try keep secret. Oh.
Do be more careful, woman.
Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow.
Narrow Hollow. What is this? A Bleach episode or Dark Souls episode? It could be both. A clash over between Bleach and Dark Souls. Narrow Hollow. Yes. Oh, yes? What is this? I don't know. Gintama. I will be honest. I never watched Gintama. I only saw various videos on YouTube, and I know Gintama is just batshit crazy shit going on all the time, and nothing is holy. But yes, probably Gintama.
I have an exceedingly good memory as far as I remember.
I should also mention she said,
And
as far as I remember. You are correct, yes.
nothing of any significance took place at that hour. Nothing at all.
Oh, really? Mr.
Gerrit.
The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been naughty business on the street. What are you hiding? Tell me.
Tell me.
Oh, well, as I was saying, it was a trifling level. Joanne, dash it all. What's the matter with you women?
Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
You know, considering all of this, this is a cuckold scene. He's the cook, not the cook, the cook. And she's the domino. It's perfectly aware. It's perfectly there. There's no king shaming. There's only king. Combination of the most unholy shit possible. I played this game. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan?
That's right, Mr. Gerrit.
What is the matter with these two?
It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what?
Wish I knew. No, you won't. You don't. You don't. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? They told you before, but did you listen? No.
Why, it's certainly just below us on the first floor.
And Mr. Sholmes in investigating there, even as we speak.
Yes, told me that's his name had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services.
That's a blended lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around in
Mr. Natsume's room, I mean?
Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs.
Fly down the stairs. Fly. But you notice you cannot fly, therefore you broke your neck. Stupid.
Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we?
Yes, and why are we there?
Oh God.
We can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
Calm down. Calm down. Crazy woman.
And your location has been added.
Now that's more like it. Is that a real cat? It's a real cat. That's a real cat. A real chunky cat. It's coffee's. It's coffee. It's just coffee in his earlier form. That's a lot of handkerchiefs there in the trash bin. Unless there are papers, of course. Nanny? Just look at these, please. And smell it. It's so musky in here. I mean, musty in here. I suppose it's the What? I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that. Where does he go on the toilet? Is that an outside toilet thing? She's like, that reminds me of my home, at home. I don't think I've ever seen so many books in my life. So you have never been to an El Biblioteca in the Great Britain? They have far more books. No, me neither. It's so dark in here too. I can clearly see the entire room. I'm afraid of the darkness that is so visible and yet not. Is that the window over there? Well, it was the window, I think. Yes. Once Upon a Time. Which is a good movie, by the way. But for some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. So this is where the weeb lives. By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Shums anywhere, have you? Have you? Why do you have an echo? Echo. No, that's true. But according to what Mr.
Gerritep.
told us. The great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. We have to examine the cat. And because this game is limited, they put no animation in it when you pet the cat, which it's not even a choice. You have to. No, she walked away. They walked away. Oh my, what an adorable little Neko.
Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away.
How do you know it's a boy? Oh wait, it's coffee. That's why. I don't know about that. Coffee disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash, if you call that casual stroll. As quick as a flash. Oh my god. It was a coffee. But it was a coffee-furred mic. Mike or Mike? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain?
Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan.
Didn't they say that he just moved in here 2 weeks ago? I'm pretty sure that the quarantine for animals from outside of a country go longer than 2 weeks. It would be weird if it was 2 weeks or less. Actually, less. That made me feel homesick now.
Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days. And could have been shit-ton rich, but you...
Okay. What a wonderful room.